welcome to episode number 11. So this weekend I am at a different venue. I'm at a place called Simpson Valley. It's kind of just down the road from like my house. I was going to go and fish the reservoir this weekend, but unfortunately it's really busy there at the moment, so I didn't really fancy it. Been doing a few other places lately as well, been to Diggers a few times, so I thought I'd go somewhere totally different. This place isn't too far away from where I live. It's just up the road, it's just down in Holsworthy, which is probably about 8 miles away, I guess. I don't really come here a lot, just never really bothered because I don't know, I just don't. So thought I'd give this a crack. It has changed quite a lot since the last time that I was here, because they've got a lot of lakes on the complex, and they've taken a few fish out of here now and put them in the lake at the top that's fully booked. So I'll show you the lake in a minute. The lake is about 1.5 acres in size. There's probably about 25-30 carp in here, but they go to 31 pounds, so it could be quite tricky, but I'm willing to give it a go for 48 hours, and we'll see how we go. So I'll show you the spots where I'm fishing, I'll show you a bit of the lake, and we'll see what we can do for this one. Right, I'll just give you an overview of what the lake looks like. So this is the far end of it. I'd say it's not too big. It's one of those little intimate sort of like tricky little waters, if you like. So yeah, so you've got like this whole open pan of water here, and then down the back there's like 2 channels that go around the back of those trees. That's kind of like an island, and that stretches out for probably about another, I don't know, 50-60 meters, I guess. Kind of like goes round in a loop there. So yeah, it's not too bad here. Quite a nice little place, really. I think it's more of a pike water these days, because they've got some really big pike in here. So there's a lot of small stuff, but the carp are still, you know, on the larger size here as well. So that's quite good. So that's what I'm here for anyway. Got a bit of a jetty there. Obviously for doing your spinning or like whatever these guys do, but not really too sure. I don't really go pike fishing, but yeah. So that's where it is, and I'll show you the spots now where I'm fishing. Right, so these are the spots that we're on. So the left-hand rod is straight out in front of me, just towards, right in the margin, right underneath that overhanging like tree over there, just in the edge. And what I've done is I did hear a tip from one of my mates, and he said, Simpson Valley, Upper Fuzzy, which is where I am, he said it's all about the margins in here. So what I did was I cast a bare lead straight over to the other side onto the bank over there, and then walked it round. I've just put on a solid bag with a pop-up in it. Just dropped it down in the edge there. I've also got some sort of like ready-made spod that I had, and I've just chucked a couple of handfuls of that in that margin. It has sort of like dragged up a few small fish. I can see, you know, there's obviously like pike active in here because they keep darting in and out of there. I've had a few liners off of it, but no carp so far. So that's that one. And then the right hand rod is pretty much straight out in front of me, really not far at all because this place isn't that big. So I've just gone for 5.5 wraps just out in the open water. So I've seen a bit of fizzing and bubbling and all kinds of stuff, so that's what made me do that, really. Just thought I'd give the open water a bit of a try, so I'm getting the best of both worlds. So I've got a margin spot and I've got a an open water spot. It's a 2 rod limit here, so you can only use the 2 rods at any time. And the day ticket is, I think, about £8, so it's 16 quid for 24 hours, so it's 32 quid for the weekend, so it wasn't really that expensive at all really. So thought I'd just try something completely different. As I said, haven't really been here for a very long time, so I thought I'd give it a stab and see what it produces. It's one of those waters where you've got to be really quiet, because apparently the fish in here these days, they've seen it all, so you know, that's why I've sort of like, I'm dropping things in the edge and keeping the casting out there to an absolute minimum, probably 1 cast, 2 casts a day if that. So there you go. That's the spots behind me. That's the old bivvy, but it's obviously got no front on it at the moment because the weather's quite warm. And then you've got another lake behind me with an old gentleman down there, and then over there. So yeah, so it is, you know, it's a nice little place. I don't really know why I don't come here too often, but maybe I should. When the weather's like this, it's really, really nice out here. Right, just a bit of an early evening update really. It's about 6:30 now. Just made up a load of the spod mix and chucked out a bit of boilie crumb in there as well. Seems to be causing quite a bit of activity now. I did see quite a lot of fizzing going on in the middle of the lake, so I decided to mix up a little bit more, just chuck it out there. It was fizzing quite heavily out there. It's kind of stopped now. I've also relocated my rod that was fishing over by that tree over there, and for the night I'm just going to move it straight into this corner, because this corner looks really carpy. It's got like a big overhanging bush in there and stuff like that, so I'm just fishing it just on the point of those reeds over there. Just a solid PVA bag, a couple of handfuls of spod. Good thing about the spod is you can just bait it up in the margins. It does bring in a lot of small fish, but I'm using a 16mm pop-up, so I should be okay. So yeah, I just thought I'd update you with that, but typical, because now I've got the camera out, all the fizzing's kind of stopped. But it was going absolutely crazy out there. I'm not too sure whether it's just small stuff, but oh well. So that's the update anyway. I've just moved it into this corner right over there, so hopefully in the night, fingers crossed, something will happen. But if anything happens in between there, I'll do my final update at about 9 o'clock. Alright, and guys, just going to do my last update for the evening. Everything behind me is all set and ready to go for the night. The margin is pretty much baited up, and the middle spot behind me at 5.5 rod lengths is sort of like ready to go as well. Had a few little bleeps, but as of yet nothing so far, so yeah, at least I know there's fish in the area. I'm not too sure what the fizzing is. I've got the feeling that there's a lot of small stuff, but hopefully that'll bring the carp in, the ones that are in here anyway. This place can be quite tricky, so you know, it's not really like a runs water or anything like that, so hopefully that'll pay off at some point over the weekend. But I'm just going to carry on fishing the spots that I'm doing, unless I see some fish somewhere I may have a move. But at the moment I'm going to stay here. I'm going to try and nick one out of here if I can. So if nothing happens during the night, then I'll catch you in the morning. Morning everyone. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning now. Unfortunately no action last night. Did have a big liner last night at about 1 o'clock in the morning, but unfortunately it was only just a liner, so yeah, nothing's really happened, and that was on the right hand rod. The left hand rod's done absolutely nothing, the one in the margin in the carpy corner. So Been watching the water this morning. It's like an absolute jacuzzi out there. There's bubbling and fizzing going on absolutely everywhere. So I think I'm going to give this till sort of like mid-morning, and then give it a couple of hours, and then I'm going to relocate my left-hand rod out of that margin, and I'm thinking I'm going to fish them both out in the open water, because that seems to be where all the sort of like bubbling and fizzing's going on. So yeah, gonna be doing that. Might get the spod rod out and just put a couple of spoms of the spod mix over the top of it. Not a lot, because it's just a little small water, but yeah, that seems to be the way to go at the moment. That's where I'm seeing the most activity anyway. I haven't seen anything happen at all in that corner, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to finish my cup of tea, kick back and wake up a little bit, watch the water, and hopefully something happens. Right, so this is the rig that I'm using for the session. If you've seen my previous blogs, you probably would have seen all this before. Very, very simple, just a PVA bag rig starting at the top. Avid lead stem, 2-ounce lead, supple braided hook link, little shot in the middle to keep it pinned down. That is one of the Fox pop-up sinkers. Just saves me using putty. Find them pretty good, really, because you don't have to keep changing it and worry about whether it's come off or not. Up to that, I'm on a size 6 wide gape with a 12mm white pop-up. I had it on advice that the fish in here are not into big colours, so I decided to go for a white just to keep it a bit neutral. And that's it. That's the bag rig, and that is the size of the bag. A little bit bigger than what I've been using, but I'm not flinging them out miles, so I can get away with putting a little bit more in there. And the idea of that as well is obviously because I'm using the spod and stuff like that, I don't really want to be making loads and loads of noise with spoms and stuff like that. So I've decided to step up the size of the bag to compensate for that, and hopefully bring the fish in and draw them down. So here's the finished product of what it looks like in the end. It's just a combo of the CC More oily bag mix with the pellets, and then a bit of boilie crumb, which is down there. So I've got all sorts of bits and bobs in here, all sorts of shapes and sizes, just crumbed up. And then in this one is the oily bag mix. So that's what I'm using for the session. Hello. So just coming up to about 10:30 now. There was a guy fishing over sort of like in the corner over there. No, that corner, over, wherever. Over that way somewhere. Basically, I now have the whole lake to myself. He's gone home. He had a 2-day arrear, completely blanked. So it's not looking good. However, I have relocated my 2 rods again now. The spot down here hasn't produced anything, the Carpy corner, and the rod out in the middle hasn't done anything either. Now that Matey's gone from over there, it gives me the whole lake to sort of like play around with now and try some different things. So I'll show you the spots where I've put them in a minute. Yeah, a bit more of a chance I think in those areas rather than where I was. I'll get on and I'll show you where the rods are. Right, so the right hand rod is now fishing all the way over in that little alcove over there with all those reeds. I saw a fish show there this morning, and those reeds are constantly knocking around. They were yesterday, I know that for definite, because the guy was fishing in there, I think. So that is where the right hand rod's been located. As for the left hand rod, that is now fishing straight out in front of me, in front of the island. It's probably about a foot off of the bank of the island there, and that is up tight, just with the same principle again, the solid bag, and a little bit of spod around it. So hopefully these spots will produce. I'm just going to leave them there now and hope for the best. Hello everyone, welcome to a very quiet afternoon. Now 4:30. Still haven't had anything yet, unfortunately, so at the moment I'm going the same way as the other guy did. So I've just made an adjustment to my rods. Obviously I was fishing out of there. Now I've decided just to change the angle of the rod. The left hand rod is still fishing over in that corner in that bay by the reeds, but earlier on I saw a couple of fish show, and they were just underneath this kind of like jetty thing. So what I've done is tied up a solid bag, put a little bit of spod out as well, and just dropped it just sort of like right on the point there, on the other side, or the right hand side of the that little jetty. And I'm just going to leave that one there. I'm literally just putting stuff now where I see fish. So I've taken the one off of the island over there because that's done nothing, and put it over here. I also thought it was a better idea as well, because I was thinking if anybody turns up and fishes the bay over there, they're going to be fishing to that island. So it's just easier for me to do that, really. I can't be asked to have it out with people, if you like. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But as of yet, nothing's really happened. But then again, I'm not expecting it to, because I have walked up and down that jetty a couple of times, and probably makes a bit of noise when you do that. So yeah, that's what's happened, and if anything else happens, I'll let you know. Nothing out of the bay at the moment, which is strange, because I know that fish do go in, up and around there. So maybe later on something there will happen, but right now everything is very, very quiet. So the wind's picked up a bit now, kind of blowing in the direction of the island, so I'm kind of like on the back of the wind, but you know, we'll keep going, and we'll see what we can do. guys. So as you've just seen, just had a bit of a walk around. Couldn't really see a lot, to be honest. I saw one fish, sort of like I think it was the ghost common in here, which is supposed to be quite a big fish, and I saw it just over the back there on the island where I was fishing. So I've located the rod that was over at the, where am I going? There. Over in the bay over there, because that's done nothing all day, and I've pinged it straight out there onto the island again. Pretty sure that I'll be alright at this time of night. No one's going to turn up because they lock the gate here, so you can't get in anyway. So I'm going to leave that one there for the night and see if that produces anything really. Other than that, there's not really a lot else I can do. I've tried to find the fish. I've been chucking at them when I see them, or and nothing is at the moment working. So there's not really a lot else I can do other than what I'm doing, I don't think. So it is what it is. But I knew that when I come here, this place never used to be an easy water as it was, and that was when it had a full stock. Now there's half that stock, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but I enjoy that. The fact that I can go to places where it's a little bit harder for me. I've got the whole lake to myself. Can't really moan. It's better than going somewhere where it's absolutely rammed, every peg is full, for me anyway. So I'm not really into the really sort of like pressure situations, though I am going to Coking Farm in 2 weeks with the missus, so we'll probably blog that one as well. But yeah, prime example of that, rang up to book it and they had one peg left on Oak Lake, so that's the lake that we're going to be fishing. We're going to be fishing peg 28 for that one, but that's in a few weeks anyway. So yeah, pretty good really. Other than what I'm doing, I'm just going to leave it all there, just watch the water this time of night. Could get lucky, I don't know, but just going to continue what we're doing, and if I don't see you before, I'll catch you in the morning. Morning everyone. Well, after a bit of a struggle and a bit of a wait, finally managed to get one. I have no idea what the time is, but I know it's the middle of the night because it's still dark. It's not the biggest fish in the world, but I'll show you. There we go. About 15 pounds, something like that. Just a little bit more under. £15. Nice looking little fish. Not one of the big guys, but definitely worth the wait. There we go. Let me get this one back now. Get the rod back out. That was on a solid PVA bag with a just a 16mm krill wafter on that one, and that was on the right hand rod underneath the little jetty where I said I saw them yesterday. So putting a rod under there definitely paid off in the end. Well, good morning. Nothing else other than that one fish last night, so I'm happy enough that I'm just not blanking, to be honest. which is good. Not one of the big fish in here, looked like one of the stockies, but you know, it's 14-15 pounds, so happy enough. Like I say, I'm just happy enough that it's not a blank here, because this is not an easy water at all, especially with the stock that's in here now. So yeah, that fish was at about 3 o'clock last night. But it just goes to show that, you know, if you see fish in an area, watch the activity and what's happening, you know, being a bit proactive, you can still catch fish. So I hadn't seen anything over by the island at all. Nothing's happened on that rod whatsoever. But the one underneath the jetty where I sort of like placed that bait yesterday, eventually it took a while, but it did pull off. So I'm happy just with that result, really. So we've got a couple of hours left now. I've got to be off of here by 12 because they run the ticket here 12 till 12. Don't know why. So yeah, probably got a couple hours more fishing left. But you know, we'll just see how it goes. If I can bag another one, ideal. But from the results of the last 2 days, I don't see it. So just going to leave everything where it is and take it from there. So if I don't have nothing else, then I'll do my my outro, if you like, when it's time to go home. Right then guys, just coming to the end of this session now. Just about to bring the rods in and make my way home again. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this one, really. Just the one fish, but it's more than anyone else had out the last sort of like 4 days here. The other two guys, as I said, they didn't have anything. So yeah, quite a good little session, really. It just shows that, you know, if you watch the water a little bit and, you know, read what's going on, it can pay off, just like it did with the jetty fish. So I'm quite happy that's happened, rather than leaving the rods just in one spot. That and having a walk around, see what's going on, see what you can see, you know. It really does make a difference to fishing, well, my fishing anyway. So yeah, definitely worth doing, because if they're not there, you can't catch them. So right, my next session will be down at Coking Farm down in Dorset. Me and the missus are off down there for like sort of like a mini holiday sort of thing. Just going to incorporate the fishing as well. So going to do sort of like a Friday afternoon through till the Monday down there. So I'll be fishing, and while I'm doing that, she'll be off doing, you know, she's going to a beauty place in Longleat or something. So yeah, that should be a good one. So that'll be the next one I blog, and that'll be in a couple of weeks. So until then guys, if you like the videos, then please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you for my next one. Tight lines guys, see you later.